Welcome back. Now, believe it or not, Boxing Day is actually the beginning of peak dating season, with millions of Australians set to use sites like eHarmony, RSVP and Tinder over the next few days. The good news is so many people are jumping online, so your chances of finding love online have never been greater. However, internet dating does come with some risks. And joining us this morning are relationship expert Melissa Ferrari and Tiffany Villaluz from datemyfriend.com.au. Ladies, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
It's interesting because online dating used to have a bit of a stigma attached to it, but not anymore, Melissa. It's more popular than ever.
Well, I think it's because you're able to really widen the net. You know, you're able to sort of think, well, who do I want? And open that up and rather than just sort of meeting someone that you're just crossing paths with or lives locally or you work with, I think that it's really starting and it's always also very time savvy.
And you have had quite the success yourself online, haven't you?
I have. I met my husband 8 years ago and we married 3 years ago, and there's a pic of
Here he is, a lovely picture of you and your hubby Skip.
Yes.
Looking beautiful.
So yeah, I had a great experience of meeting him and it's been lovely.
And how many men did you date before you found the one? I mean, did you have some misses along with the hit?
I did a count once on reflection and it was 16 dates. So I actually met for coffee with 16 people before I found the right one. And let me tell you, it was like a part-time job.
Was it?
It was.
Yeah,
it was. And you really do have to treat it that way and take it seriously.
Yeah, well, that's it. You've got a mission and you're searching for love, and you did, and you succeeded, which is wonderful.
Yes.
And Skip's here this morning too, so well done. He's punching above his weight. Don't worry about that. Now, Tiffany, you've just recently set up a dating site, an online dating site called datemyfriend.com.au. Give us an idea of how this is different, because there are a lot of dating sites out there, aren't they?
There are a lot, and what we decided to do was bring the friends in. So the friends are actually the ones that write the profiles for the singles, and that achieves a lot. And the first thing being, it takes the pressure off the singles to actually try and find something witty or intelligent or not boring or not weird to say about themselves. Friends see them in a totally different light and can endorse them basically. So it gives other people confidence that somebody has a friend to start with, and that they're willing to also endorse them online and give them a bit of a boost to saying you really should be getting out there and getting online. So that it's like an online wingman, so to speak.
Which is such great advice. Yeah, wingwoman too, because, you know, your perspective on yourself, it can be really hard to encapsulate it. So to have a friend do it for you is terrific. And we know that a lot of single people, when they head onto online dating, they can be quite vulnerable, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. It is a numbers game. There's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of people that might not have the same intentions as what the genuine people do. And we all know about the situation with scammers, and it's estimated to be a $15 billion industry, and it's hitting America, Europe, Canada and Australia.
So what do you tell people who head onto your site? What are the issues and factors that you should consider?
Certainly. Well, a lot of scammers ask for money straight away, or they try to get you off the site straight away. They want your own personal email address. They start to tell you stories about trying to get out of a country, that they, need help, or that somebody's sick. I mean, a lot of people should be aware of that now because there's been a lot out there, but generally as people we're very trusting.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
We trust people and start to get involved in their story. But there's a lot of sites that people can also use, like there's one called Stop Scammers, and that's one that I'm subscribed to. So I get pictures every other day of the latest and greatest scammers out there, so then I can check whether they're hitting our site.
Because they're like cockroaches, they find a way to evolve.
They do, and they're clever.
Yeah,
they find everything that they can do to hit people that might be vulnerable.
Yeah, I guess to be eternally cynical about some of the ways you can be hit. But we've asked you at home whether you've ever felt unsafe while dating online, and here's some of your comments. One viewer said, I never felt unsafe. I made sure we only met in public places and told people where I was going. Thankfully, I'm now married and have been with the love of my life for nearly 5 years. Brett says, of course, it's completely normal to be cautious when meeting strangers from the internet. Leslie says, when I was online dating, there definitely were times that were awkward or made me a bit worried, but if it wasn't for taking that risk of online dating, I would never have met my soulmate. And I suppose, Melissa, that's the issue. You do have to take risks to put yourself out there, but you have to constantly have that little voice at the back of your head to question people's motives.
I think love is about risk, you know, when you go into that space and say, I'm going to be open to meeting somebody, but it does create a lot of vulnerability. And I think really going into it, being aware that not everybody does have good intentions, you know, and that some are very, very well rehearsed as well in terms of just making you a little bit, you know, having a bit of fun with someone. They've got no intention of a relationship whatsoever. And I don't just mean fun like, you know, having sex fun. I mean just to kind of exploit somebody and all of those kind of things. So it's really something that you have to be very, very careful, and safety and security is paramount when it comes to online dating.
And one of our viewers comments saying that they always met in a public place. That's probably
Yes.
a really important factor. But
Definitely.
what do you tell people in terms of the online profile that they set up? Are there particular things to ensure that you don't put in there?
Definitely. You'd never want to put where you work, anything about your family history, just restricting the amount of personal information that you put on there. It's more about, you know, who you are, what you like to do, all that type of thing. So stay away from the personal information, because it's amazing how many people can find out things. And when you get to that stage where you actually swap a phone number, I would say really delay that process, because as soon as you've got a phone number in your contacts, it's amazing how much information somebody can find out about you when you're on WhatsApp, when you're on whatever, what your LinkedIn profile is. So that side of things is really important. So restrict that amount of personal information that you're giving out.
I was going to add to that, you know, a lot of people use a photograph that they use in their professional world, then on the online dating world, and straight away with the reverse search images, people can work out where you work immediately. So being very, very careful of what images you use on your profile as well.
Which is such good advice. And why is this time of year the peak dating season?
I think people have been with their families and got stirred a little bit around this time of the year, and so maybe they've seen other couples together, and so people get very stirred around Christmas time and New Year, very vulnerable time, and so people go into it, you know, and they think, oh, New Year, let's get my profile up by the 1st of January.
Time to do something about the
Time to
loneliness.
take action, just before the New Year's resolutions kick in, you can kind of beat the rush.
Yeah,
well, well
definitely.
done, thank you. It's really great to get that information and insight, and as you say, love is a risk. You've done it, you've paid off, and both your lovely husbands are here in the studio, so good morning to them as well. Thank you so much, Tiffany and
Thank you.
Melissa, for coming
Thank
in.
you.
Timbo.
Congratulations, great to see that. Oh, there's nothing quite like meeting the right person. There's nothing quite like it. It's beautiful.
It's a brave new world out there.